Hi everyone and welcome back to Explore Van UK, the channel where we test out the best gear to keep you comfortable and prepared for life on the road. Winter's definitely settling in here in the UK, and if you've ever spent a cold night in your van, you'll know just how important a good heater can be. Today we're taking a look at the Hcalory HBH2 Blazecore diesel heater, a compact all-in-one unit that promises plenty of heat, easy setup and reliable performance when the temperature drops, so stick with us.
Don't forget to check out our other videos on everything campervan and motorhome related, from solar to water, heating to gadgets, tyres to trips. If you like this video, please do hit the thumbs up, it really does help me to know what you like, and you can ask any questions or give feedback in the comments. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of our future videos, please hit the subscribe button and clicking the bell will give you a notification when a new video goes live. Finally, if you do decide to hit the thumbs down, it would be great if you could also leave a comment so I know what you didn't like.
We're going to see how easy the HBH2 is to set up, how noisy it really is, how much fuel it uses, and whether it's worth adding to your van setup for the winter season. And we'll take a look at the wider range of Hcalory diesel heaters too. So let's get on with it and see if the Hcalory HBH2 can keep you toasty all the way through winter.
The HBH2 is one of the latest all-in-one diesel heaters for Hcalory, supplied by Banggood from their UK warehouse. One of the benefits of an all-in-one are the ease at which they are set up, so let's take a look. Arriving well packed, there's the main unit, remote control, ducting, exhaust and power cables. With very little to do to get it up and working, it's simply a case of attaching the supplied feet, fitting the exhaust air intake and heated air outlet. It can be powered two ways. If you have 240 volt power or want to run it from a power station that only has a 10 amp 12 volt outlet, then you can use the supplied 240 volt lead. If you're lucky enough to have a power station like the Aferiy P210 that has a 25 amp 12 volt outlet, or are connecting it direct to a 12 volt battery, you can use the supplied 12 volt lead. As well as the wireless remote, also included is an extension lead for the display controller, and we'll show later why that's helpful. But right now, let's pop some diesel in the 5 litre built-in tank and get it fired up. You can see how much fuel you have in the tank using the handy gauge on the side of the unit. Then it's just a simple case of turning on the unit, it self-primes, and before long there's plenty of heat from the outlet. The thermal camera reminds us of how hot that exhaust gets, but also the amount of heat coming from the air outlet to warm up that cold van or tent. Let's check out the noise level from the unit. Starting at heat level 1, we see around 60 decibels 2 meters away from the unit. On level 5, that increases to around 63 decibels. And at the maximum level 10, it's around 67 decibels. All of which sit in the same classification of a quiet street in this app. The unit comes with Bluetooth built in, and the Hcalory app lets you monitor the heater and control it. Connecting is easy. You can select the different modes. We've been using the simplest, where you select the heat level from 1 to 10, but let's try out the thermostat setting where we've set it to 15 degrees. To do this, we're using that control panel extension lead that we mentioned earlier, as the unit reads the temperature at the control panel. We're going to pop the control panel into the thermal flask with some ice to drop the temperature. As you can see, the temperature is dropping, and when it gets to a couple of degrees below the target, it fires up the heater. We then remove the controller from the ice to simulate the van getting warm, and once the temperature read a couple of degrees above the target temperature, the heater shut off. The heater obviously has the electronics, fuel pump and fan to run, so let's see how much 12 volt electrical power it uses. At level 1 it's around 6 watts. At level 5 it increases to 15 watts. And the maximum level 10 it's 27 watts. Those were all running on the 12 volt source. As a comparison, using 240 volts at level 10 it's a few watts higher at 30 to 31 watts. The other thing to consider is how much diesel is used. So to check this we had to strip the unit down a little to connect a smaller measured tank of fuel. Starting at level 10 we saw that in 5 minutes it used 30 millilitres of diesel. At level 5 it used 20 millilitres, and at level 1 it used just 10 millilitres. So what does that work out as? Well, that means at level 10 it will use 1 litre of fuel every 2.8 hours, and the fuel tank, which is 5 litres, will last nearly 14 hours. At power level 5, 1 litre would last 4.2 hours, which means nearly 21 hours worth from that 5 litre tank. And at level 1, it's 8.4 hours for 1 litre, and that 5 litre tank would last nearly 42 hours. Remembering that you're not going to have the heater on all of the time. So for convenience, ease of use and simplicity, the HBH2 is a great solution. The only thing to be aware of is, as with any all-in-one diesel heater, there are exhaust connections in the unit, which ideally you don't want in your living space, in case there's a leak. Meaning, unless you have a separate airtight section of your van, for total safety you would have to have the heater outside and the hot air blown inside via a duct. This is great for occasional use or for use in, say, a tent or awning. For a more permanent solution, a fitted unit is more complex to install, but all the exhaust connections are outside of your living space for better peace of mind. Thankfully, Hcalory via Banggood also supply an installable unit like this one, so have covered all the bases. Thanks for watching our video, and as always, if you have any questions or feedback, please pop them in the comments below. If you find the video useful, please like, share and consider subscribing.